Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Hey Little Magpie. And for this layout I'm using the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Fresh Snow collection. I've already made one layout which you'll find a previous video for, and for this layout I'm going to be using this gorgeous piece of paper as my background, and it's called Fresh Snow. Now I have to say, I feel like Simple Stories have done us all a favour here because this piece of paper is absolutely stunning. And I feel like they've done most of the work for us. All the layers are already there. So it will make it, this is definitely going to be a quicker layout than normal. So I've got two photographs there of us on a day trip to London. We saw this absolutely massive Christmas tree. I mean, it could have been, I don't know, 20, 30 feet, all beautifully decorated, and took a couple of photos with it. And I thought they would go absolutely perfectly with this collection. So I've got some ephemera there in the tray on the left and some rip strips left over from another layout, and I'm going to work my way through and see what I want to add. I'm thinking of doing 3 clusters. Odd numbers are always better. We know that it's one of those things in crafting that we all know. So I'm looking at doing one above the photos and one to the left and right. So I've come in with my craft knife and it's a Tim Holtz ruler, I think. It's got a metal edge, which means you can cut against it without cutting into the ruler. And I'm using the metal edge, and I'm just cutting down the edges of some of the pieces of paper that are actually printed on the background. I do apologise for spinning the paper round, but it's much easier for me to cut in a straight line in front of me. And as you may notice, I've got a glass mat underneath as well. And I'm just having a look through some of the 6x8 papers because I'm going to add some bits, potentially in the bits that I've cut, or I'm still thinking and working it out at this stage. But what I am going to do is I'm going to distress the edge with my fingernails. So I'm going to add some papers behind my photos. So I get those trimmed. And I chose a dark paper just to help it pop off the plainer colour behind them. And I'm just having a look at what embellishments there that I want to add in on the left hand side, and I'm going to start to think about sticking things down. Now I'm not going to be too hasty, you've seen me before, that won't happen, but I'm just looking much more carefully at where I want everything to go. And if there's something with a little ticket, I've been punching the little circles on either end, or if it's a tag I tend to do the same. I'm now bringing my attention back to this cluster at the top, and also to being a little bit more vigorous with the tears in the paper there. You can't really see it at the moment, but hopefully by the end I do actually roll them up a little bit and distress the edge with my fingernail, because there was no point me cutting it otherwise, and I want it to look like there's lots and lots of layers. I do add some paper behind it at the very end, just to cover the daylight gaps when I photograph it, but you don't really need to if it's going straight into an album. There's lots and lots of ephemera with this collection, which I would really recommend. There's particularly some really beautiful bits that I'm going to take from the floral bits and pieces and add to the right of the photograph, like some branches and flower heads and pine cones, all obviously in keeping with the collection, but just some really nice individual pieces. And that gives them chance just to, I'm just going to think about sticking them down in one place so that they actually are not completely flat, which is something that I particularly like. When it comes to the title of this layout, that came together quite quickly for me. The word sparkle is a die cut with a couple of snowflakes attached to it, and I've also brought in the 3D wood word winter from the Winter and Snowflakes collection. I used the snowflakes on my first layout, and I think Winter Sparkle is an absolute perfect title for this Christmas tree that we spotted in London. So that definitely was an easy choice. I am going to add some words at the top there in this cluster. I think the one I go for in the end is all bundled up, which is also true. So it's like a subtitle, but yeah, really pleased with the way this is coming together. Some of the bits and pieces, I feel like the white edging is a little bit wider than I would like, so I'm trimming between some of the leaves. That's just personal taste, and because I'm a complete and utter time waster a lot of the time, while I'm thinking that I'm doing that. So far, I'm just tweaking any little bits and pieces I want to add. I've got some little tickets that I cut from a 6x8 paper. Also bringing in some snowflakes just to kind of fall and soften around the edges. I think a lot of the florals do that anyway, but I thought I'd add some between the top left cluster and down towards the photo. I've taken a couple from the foam sticker sheet, and I've got a couple of die cut ones as well. I would really recommend you check out this Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Fresh Snow collection at Hey Little Magpie. At present, it's all there in store. It's really beautiful to work with. I'm really enjoying it actually, with its nice soft colours. Lots of choices of photos that would work really well. So do check it out, even just to have a look at this paper, because it's absolutely stunning. I'm going to just keep tweaking the clusters. I'm just adding to this one at the top there. I did make a cut in the paper at the top, but obviously I've covered it with a cluster, but it means it easier for me to tuck bits and pieces in around it. And I'm still adding a few snowflakes. I always like to look at all that I've got to make sure I've not, well, whether there's anything else I can add, because I feel like I can always add another bit. And I tend to add some of the smaller things with just a glue dot. And I do add a pine cone to the cluster of flowers by the photographs, and I feel like that echoes the pine cones in the top left hand corner. And I'm getting braver by the end, and I make a couple more cuts in the paper using my knife and the ruler again, and I'm just going to lift those with my nail and just distress that paper a tiny bit. So really pleased with how this has come together. I've also got the enamel dots for this collection. They are beautiful soft colours with a little bit of a Christmas sparkle to them, and I'm going to dot those around as well, around the clusters, just to add another dimension to the layout. So as this comes to the end, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. Any questions you've got about this collection or others, just add it in the comments below. And I hope to see you here again real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.